Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 40, and today we have games against Manchester City in the Premier League and also Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final. This is the penultimate episode of Season 5, and I'm just going to say right now, it's going to be one hell of a dramatic end to the season, and I really do hope you guys get to enjoy both of these episodes. They are going to be absolutely crazy, but still, before we play those games, I'm going to show you how Swansea have been getting on off camera and where we currently sit in the league table. So in the last episode, you saw two pretty poor results for us with Swansea, with a goalless draw against Everton and then a 4-1 defeat to Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. But then we responded with a big win against Brentford by 2-1 at Liberty Stadium, and then a 4-1 victory over Millwall in the FA Cup quarter-final away at the Den. Millwall took the lead 13 minutes in, and they led until half-time. And in the dressing room, I fired up the boys, and we scored 4 goals in the second half, 2 from Wilson, 1 from Bentancur, and 1 from Barbosa to book our place at Wembley for the first time since Season 1 in an FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool, which you'll see today. Then we beat Derby by 5-0, our biggest win of the season and possibly of the series in the Premier League, not entirely sure, but a massive win regardless. What a victory, and Esposito scored what I believe was his first hat-trick for the club as well, which was great to see. So we were 3 wins in a row. I was feeling very, very confident, but then we lost 3-2 at home to Fulham in Wales, and I have no idea how, because Fulham were in the relegation zone at this point. We took the lead 37 minutes in, and I was like, yeah, this will be a formality, 4 wins on the trot, surely. And then they scored 3 in the second half, and the third goal as well was pretty embarrassing. Dembele scored it, but Sam Redmond, I mean, I love the guy, but first he lost the ball in the middle of the park, and he tried to catch up to Dembele, but he just couldn't. Dembele was too quick, and he ran all the way and scored. Very poor from the young man, but still, following that, we drew 1-1 with Watford, and once again, you know, it was a really poor game from us where he should have won comfortably. Esposito bailed us out and ensured we would get at least a point in the 86th minute with that late equaliser, so 2 bad results there. But then our last game was a big 4-1 victory away against Newcastle, a very, very convincing win. Pep scored his first goal for us as well, and I was really pleased with that. And also Sam Redmond got his first assist as well in a Swansea shirt, still yet to score in the league, but got his first assist. But still, today we take on City and Liverpool in the Premier League and the FA Cup semi-final. This is where we sit in the table right now, 3rd place with 3 games to go. We got 65 points, but Spurs behind us right now on 61 points, have 2 games in hand, and I must say I'm beginning to get a little bit worried, because even Liverpool right now, who are 7 points behind us, they also have a game in hand themselves. So they win that, would go up to 61 points, beyond level points with Spurs. So yeah, I'm beginning to get very, very worried, because we should do it. We should hang on to a top 4 place, but if we choke in our final 3 games, one of which is against West Brom as well, then we could end up finishing outside the Champions League places, and possibly as well, we could even still finish outside the Europa League places. So it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. We have a great chance of finishing the Champions League for the first time ever, but I'm just a little bit nervous we might choke. Hopefully not, but we'll have to wait and see. And also as well, I want to say a big thank you to everyone for voting for the nickname for our Spanish Wonder Kid. I asked you guys to choose between 5, Pep, Josep, Las Cuerdas, the Chosen One, or the Prophet. I didn't mind which one of the 5 you guys chose. Of course, they were all suggestions from you guys, and you in the end decided we should call him Pep. So thank you for voting, appreciate it very much. Over 500 of you got involved, and yeah, he'll be known as Pep for the time being, or for the indefinite future really. And yeah, I think that's a good choice there. So thanks very much for voting as well. And also a quick note on Redmond as well, just before we move on. His determination's got up to 20. There's no green arrow there anymore, which is a bit annoying, but as you can see, his determination has gone up to 20 since he started getting tutoring from Daniele De Rossi, and I'm absolutely delighted, because his work rate has not dropped either, so that's really, really cool. Very, very happy with that. He's a future Swansea captain, we know that for sure. So yeah, Redmond's developing quite nicely now. And so as we come into the first game of today's episode, then we do indeed take on Manchester City here at home. Right now, City are going for the title. If I can find the league table somewhere, you'll see, there we are. City going for the title right now. They desperately need a win in this game, but so do we. And I do believe if we win this game too, we will guarantee a place in the Europa League for next season and still have a great chance qualifying for the Champions League. So this is the team for the game then, a massive one. We're going with a 4-4-2. Timo Horn starts in goal, back four of George, Marlon, Vaso and Hugo Mayo. In midfield, Sisto on the left, Mahrez on the right, and in the middle, Sam Redmond and Rodrigo Bentancur. And up top together, Esposito and Callum Clutch Wilson, who continues to start after being in really good form in the second half of the season. So on the bench, Mitchell, Franca, Davies, Pep, Sigurdsson, Brandt and Gabriel Barbosa, who will come off the bench if necessary. So here we go then. First game of today's episode, an absolutely massive one of our biggest of the season. Let's get the win and let's guarantee European football for next season. Come on, Swansea. And I've motivated the team as well in the team talk. This is exactly what we want to see. Come on, lads. An absolutely massive game here. Manchester City at home. One of the biggest of the season, if not the biggest of the season. That's for sure right now, considering the position we're in right now. Because we have such a great chance to qualify for the Champions League. And if we throw it away, I mean, I'll just be so gutted. I really will. Because come the start of the season, Champions League, I mean, I won't say it didn't cross my mind. I thought about it as a possibility. But I highly doubted any chance of it properly actually happening. But Liverpool and Spurs have both fallen behind very early at home to Stoke and Southampton. So as things stand right now, this will give us an amazing chance of qualifying for the Champions League. But the first highlight does come to City, unfortunately, as Vezo heads away a corner, only as far as Raheem Sterling, through towards Nelson Semedo. He finds Kevin De Bruyne, takes it round Marlon, gets inside, plays it back towards João Mario, and Horn saves it, but Sterling puts in the rebound, and just 18 minutes in, Manchester City take the lead, and it's the former Liverpool man that gives them the opening goal of the game. This was not the start we wanted. De Bruyne took it round Marlon and then evaded the challenge of Redmond as well. João Mario came in and Horn did make a great save after it hit the bar initially, but it fell straight to Sterling at the far stick. And Manchester City do indeed open the scoring. So 1-0 to the away side, not the start we wanted. We're very fortunate to see Liverpool and Spurs still trailing, but we need to get back on level terms. Come on. And here is the second highlight, and it comes to us as well, but unfortunately Sisto's free kick is dealt with, and as City go on the break here, we could be under a little bit of pressure as Mbolo evades the challenge of Redmond and keeps on going. I'm having flashbacks to the Fulham game here where Redmond can't keep up. Unfortunately, Bale at the far post hits the post, and Marlon to get the ball away. City looking very dangerous early on. Not what we want to see, but it's no less than we expect from the league leaders right now. Still 1-0. Gonna have to weather this storm. And here is Wilson on the ball for us. Great through ball towards Esposito. Surely, yes, get in. Gianluca Esposito puts us back on level terms. And just a minute after City could have went 2 goals up, we have pegged them back and it's 1-1. Wilson through towards Esposito. Timed his run perfectly. Broke free of the last man. And with a weaker right foot, places the ball into the top corner. And we are back on level terms. The Italian stallion with a big goal. And it's 1-1. And here is another highlight for Manchester City with João Mario on the ball. Can they retake the lead just before the break? De Bruyne goes down this right-hand side. Sisto is jockeying, but De Bruyne finds Gareth Bale and he finds Mbolo, and his header sneaks in, and Timo Horn can't keep it out. And just before the half-time whistle, Manchester City will retake the lead. De Bruyne in to Gareth Bale, chips it into the centre, and there is Mbolo with a free header, and Timo Horn again. I mean, I've just grown tired of saying it, but he's beaten at his near post. He's got to become better at his positioning, man. Seriously, I think for next season, I do like him, I really do, and he was signed on the cheap as well. But I think it's time to look for a new goalkeeper. He's just not performing really. But still, here's Wilson to Benzema. Can we get back on level terms again here? Straight after kickoff, Noakes have given it away, and this could spell trouble. But Vezo's intercepted a loose ball here, and we've won it back. We could have one final chance before the break with Marlon finding Benzema through towards Esposito, the goal scorer. Looks for Callum Wilson. Company can't keep it out. Wilson goes for goal, but really makes the save and holds on to it as well. Great chance to get back on level terms, but Wilson couldn't get the finish right. Well, as things stand, we may still be trailing by 2-1, but the defeat won't be too bad if both Liverpool and Spurs do still lose. And as things stand, they are still trailing to Stoke and Southampton. There's a good chance for us here in the second half. 62 minutes in, Sisto finds Benteke on the edge of the area. He finds Mahrez, and Williams comes in with a big challenge and turns behind for a corner. That was a great chance to get back on level terms there. It's still 2-1. Can we find an equaliser? So I'm going to make a triple change here. Pep, Sigurdsson and Barbosa are coming on for Redmond, Benteke and Wilson. Also changing the tactics a little bit as well. Trying to get the ball up the pitch quicker too. Can we find ourselves an equalising goal and claim a big point? Come on, Swansea. Here's Barbosa through towards Esposito on the ball here. Still has Barbosa with him. Tries to play it through and does. And Gabriel Barbosa comes off the bench. And we grab ourselves our second equaliser. And the changes have seemed to have worked for the time being. 90 minutes to go. Still a long way left. But this point will be massive if we can get it. With both Liverpool and Spurs still leading. Great ball by Esposito. Barbosa latches onto it and puts it into the bottom corner. 2-2. Come on, Swansea. Let's hold on for this point. But here is a highlight for City with De Bruyne crossing it to the far post. Marlon gets it away, but it'll come towards Sterling, who helps it back in. Pep gets it away, but again it'll come back towards Sterling. Down this right-hand side, crosses, and Bolo finds the back of the net. And we've conceded once again. and it's now 3-2, and I can't see us coming back from this. I can't see us scoring a third equaliser. Mbolo scores again. He and Sterling have caused a lot of damage in this game. Sterling down the right-hand side crosses, and Mbolo gets free of 3 white shirts, and Timo Horn can't keep it out. 3-2 to City, 10 minutes to go. I think that'll do it this time. Or will it? Because there's another highlight directly from kickoff. This is crazy. What an action-packed game. As Hugo Mayo finds Mahrez down the right-hand side. Through towards Esposito here. Drags out a man. Gets past him. Still Esposito on the ball. Still Esposito fires it wide. And it's still 3-2. Come on. And that will do it then. Final score, Swansea 2, Manchester City 3. We lose here in an absolutely heartbreaking way. We got back on level terms twice, but simply could not hold on. And I thought we were quite unlucky, to be fair, but still I will tell them I'm not happy with their performance out there. And hopefully it'll fire up some players, and it certainly has done. So a very disappointing defeat, but the best thing about it, if that's one way of looking at it, is that both Liverpool and Spurs lost. So a point would have been massive, but fortunately, due to Stoke and Southampton claiming massive wins away from home, we do go ahead and claim, well, no points whatsoever, but not a bad result, if that makes sense. I mean, it's not a good result. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. You know what I'm trying to say, but I can't put it into words. Because those 2 wins there and those 2 defeats for Liverpool and also Spurs as well mean that in the Premier League right now, we still haven't guaranteed a Europa League place with 2 games to go, but we're still 4 points clear of Spurs and we're still 7 points clear of Liverpool, although they have a game in hand and Spurs have 2 games in hand. So it's a big missed opportunity, don't get me wrong, but it could have been a lot worse. And as we come into the second game of today's episode, then we take on Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final. Manchester United face Stoke in the other semi-final, and this is the team for our game then. We're sticking with a 4-4-2, but there are quite a few changes in personnel, and I've made some brave decisions as well. Timo Horn starts in goal, but the back 4 is changed. Ben Davies starts at left back, Mayo stays at right back, so does Marlon in the middle, but his defensive partner in the centre is Franca, starting for just the 3rd time, I do believe, since we've signed him in January. In midfield, we have Brandt on the left, Bentancur on the right, and in the middle, Sam Redmond and Pep. And up top together, Esposito and Gabriel Barbosa on the bench, Billy Mitchell, Ruben Vezo, George Sigurdsson, Mahrez Sisto, and Callum Wilson. So yeah, some interesting changes then for this game. I just feel as though fresher legs might help us a little bit. And also, after that disappointing game, the last one against City, we need to give some other players some chances. So FA Cup semi-final, another big game. Can we go through to just our second final of the series and our first since season 1? Let's hope so. Come on, Swansea. So if we reach the FA Cup final and Manchester United beat Stoke, we will guarantee a place in the Europa League next year, even if we lose the final to Manchester United. I mean, there are just so many ways to qualify for Europe next season, either the Champions League or the Europa League. If we fail to do it completely, I'll be so furious, as the first chance fell to Liverpool and Firmino hit the bar with the free kick. It's still 0-0, and I've got to say right now, like, I'm so nervous right now, I really am. It'll be one of the most disastrous chokes ever if we don't qualify for Europe next season. There are so many ways to do it. If we miss out completely, I think I'll end up getting the sack. I mean, I'm sure I will. Well, after a poor first half, I fired up most of the team in the half-time team talk. 45 minutes to go, and 1 goal I think will decide this final. That's all we need. Can we get it, or will Liverpool break our hearts? So first highlight in the second half, and it comes to us with Davies flicking the ball on towards Julian Brandt here. Down the left-hand side, he finds Barbosa, and Pep goes for goal and scores. Get in! Pep gives us the lead with 24 minutes to go, and our Spanish wonder kid gets his 2nd goal in 3 games and makes it 1-0 to the Welsh team here at Wembley. Brandt inside Barbosa, picks out Pep just inside the area, and he volleys the ball into the back of the net. 1-0 Swansea, come on! We are almost there. It's been a very poor semi-final, but we're seconds away from claiming a place in the FA Cup final, and as Sigurdsson receives the ball, the referee blows for full time. Get in. Final score, Liverpool 0, Swansea 1, and we are into our first final since season 1. So passionately, I'm going to tell them, congratulations lads, you've all dreamt of playing in the final, and now you're going to be doing it. I'm delighted for you all. No one, well, I'd say no one, quite a few players are happy with it, but not as many as I would have thought were. But we'll passionately praise Pep, who's fired up. Of course he is. He's got the ginger mohawk. He's fired up all the time. Very pleased to have made it through to the final then. And that now means as well that if Manchester United can beat Stoke, we will guarantee a place in Europe for next season. So really, really, really pleased with that. And this is an interesting dilemma for me as well, because I don't know whether I would want to face Manchester United or Stoke, because, I mean, you'd probably say I should prefer to play Stoke because, let's be honest here, Stoke aren't a bad side whatsoever, but you can see right now we'd surely fancy our chances against Stoke and fancy our chances of winning our first trophy for the series. But if we face United, we guarantee a place in the Europa League. So it's how confident do I feel? How confident do I feel? I'm not entirely sure. So I don't know. I really don't. Is it United or Stoke we'll face? Well, let's find out together. I think I would prefer United just because I want to guarantee a place in Europe next season. We can't afford to miss out of Europe next year. So I think I'd rather play United, but I guess Stoke does give us the best chance to win the final. Let's find out anyways. Derby beat West Brom. Get in, lads. It is going to be... is there a semi-final on Saturday or Sunday? So it's actually on a Sunday then, their FA Cup semi-final. So let's find out who we will be facing. It's going to be, dun dun dun, Stoke in the final. Okay, they beat Manchester United on penalties. And that means we haven't guaranteed a place in Europe for next season then. Because Manchester United, of course, will qualify for the Champions League. If we face them, then the finalists of the FA Cup final do go into the Europa League. But with Stoke being in 16th place right now, it does mean we're still not in the Europa League yet. So with 2 games to go in the Premier League season, I mean, this is crazy, absolutely crazy. We've got an FA Cup final to look forward to. I guess now thinking about this, there's an extra 2 episodes left in the season, not 3. But yeah, we've got an FA Cup final to look forward to. That could give us our first piece of silverware this series. But if we lose it and drop out of the Champions League and Europa League places, I don't think I'll be able to forgive myself or be able to manage next season, because I'll probably end up getting the sack. We'll face Stoke in the FA Cup final then. We're still not in the Europa League yet. There are 2 games to go in the league season and also the final as well. I really don't know how to feel right now. Very, very nervous indeed, but it promises to be an extremely interesting end to the season regardless. There are still 2 episodes left, and I thought there would just be 1, but there's 2 episodes left. We got the West Brom and Spurs games to come in the next episode, where you guys will find out whether we qualify for the Champions League or the Europa League, or miss out altogether. That is still possible. And then the FA Cup final against Stoke. That will be the final episode of this season. So I want to say a big thank you for watching today's episode, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed it. It certainly was dramatic. I will see you for the next episode over the weekend sometime. Have a fantastic evening. I hope you guys have had a fantastic working week. Have a really, really good night tonight, and I'll see you for the next episode in my Football Manager series very soon.